What's going on, guys? About to start this self-help question and answers, but first, coffee. Oh, this is perfect. In case you're wondering what I get either a tall or grande. Today was tall. Iced coffee with caramel and cream. I keep it pretty simple, but it's good. All right, so let's get into these questions. First question. I just got a new job, and I want to manage my money better. What are some things I can do to save money? So a lot of people have problems saving money or managing money or finances and budgeting and all that stuff like that. I'm kind of break it down into some simple terms of what I do, how I process it. Basically, in order to be able to successfully manage money, save money, you have to do something what's called budgeting. It's a very simple thing that they do not teach you in high school. But basically, budgeting is figuring out what you have coming in, your income, and what expenses you have coming out, and allocating in between the two to figure out, all right, do I need to make money? Do I need to save more money? Do I need to put money over here, whatever. So basically, essentially what you want is you want your income to be greater than your expenses, okay? That means that after your expenses, you're gonna have leftover money to, do other things, save, invest, whatever. What you don't want is your expenses to be greater than your income. In the event that your expenses are greater than your income, that's where a lot of problems are gonna occur. You're gonna become in debt, you're gonna have credit problems, and you're gonna go down a bad line that you do not wanna go in. So the first thing when you have a job and you're trying to manage money is make sure your income is greater than your expenses. There's two types of expenses. There's fixed expenses, and then there are, I'm gonna call them hard to track expenses. Fixed expenses are anything that are coming out every month or weekly or whatever. A car, insurance, phone, mortgage, anything that's, coming out that are like basically necessities for you to live, that's coming out all the time. Hard to track expenses are things like gas, food, you need new shoes for, this, or, basically things that aren't consistently coming out that are a little bit harder to track. So you obviously want to have an income that's greater than your fixed expenses, but you also need to have a certain amount of income that can be able to cover all your hard to track expenses. Basically, after you ensure that your income is greater than your expenses, what you're going to want to do is once you get you want to sit down and figure, all right, this is my income. We're going to just say $100 just to keep it simple. So you have $100 worth of income, and let's just say your fixed expenses are $30, okay? And your hard to track expenses are another $20. So you have $50 worth of expenses and $100 worth of income. Basically, you have another $50 left over after your expenses to do whatever with. A lot of people, what they do is, they'll get their check or whatever, and they'll cover the expenses, and then they'll just spend the rest on whatever they want, like, food, dinner this one night, these new shoes that I wanted, this new purse, going to this event with some other person or anything like that. Basically, what you want to do is, once you get your income, you want to go ahead and save right out of the gap. After you keep track of what expenses you have coming out, immediately save whatever money you have left over. A lot of people spend and then save. That's a big no-no. Warren Buffett, suggests that you save first before you spend, because a lot of times you get caught up in just spending on stuff that you do not need. Basically there's wants and needs. Spending on things that you need, like, a car or a house, those are important things. Spending on things that you want, like new clothes, new shoes, that brand new fat whip, going out to dinner, those are things that you do not want to allocate money towards. So, like I said, your income needs to be greater than your expenses, and you also need to save before you start spending. That's the best way to manage your money. Sorry, that was a little lengthy. All right, next question. I'm about to attend college this coming fall. I don't know what to major in. Do you have any suggestions? When I originally went to college, I was going to major in engineering because I was, pretty good at math. I was pretty good at the sciences. I liked understand how things work, like the mechanics of things. But unfortunately for me, I couldn't quite do the physics, so it didn't really work out that well. A lot of kids, though, when they go into college, they have no idea what they want to do, and they feel pressured to figure out what they want to major in. I mean, you're about to attend this college, you're about to spend tons of money, towards attending this college, and you need to figure out what you need to do for the rest of your life, at the age of 17, 18, 19 years old, which is not easy because you're going through changes all constantly through your life. You change, you become interested in other things, you become passionate in other things, and figuring out what you want to do for the rest of your life in the next 40, 50, 60 years, at the age of like 18, 19, 20 is not really practical. What I would suggest is if you don't know what you want to do, you need to figure out what your passion is, what your calling in life is, what you want to do every day for the rest of your life, what you already are passionate about or invested towards, things that you love to do every day. If you're into sports or fitness or training, maybe you should do some kind of kinesiology degree or a physical therapy degree or something towards that road. If you're someone who's into like arts and music, maybe a music degree or like some kind of art degree. I don't know too much about that kind of stuff. If you're someone who's into like a business and how things are managed, or managing people or helping people, like maybe some kind of business management position. I mean, there's just so many different kinds of majors out there for anything. I think you need to figure out what you're passionate about and what your calling is. The second thing is that if you are not 100% sure as to what you want to do, taking a huge investment in college is very risky. It doesn't really make any sense to waste a year's worth of school and money and figure out, all right, this isn't what I want to do. So obviously if you have, the ability to have your college paid for, you have parents who are able to pay your college, you have a lot of scholarships and grants, and money's not particularly an issue, it's okay to, after a year in college, change your major, stuff like that. But if you're someone like me who doesn't have the parents to be able to afford college, which is okay, and, doesn't have a lot of financial aid and grants and scholarships and basically taking out a lot of student loans, it's a huge risk to get into a year, 2 years of college and figure out, all right, this isn't what I want to do anymore, and you're wasting money. What a lot of, millennial entrepreneurs suggest is take a year or two between after graduating high school and college and go get a job at something that you think you want to do. If you want to be a business person, maybe become a secretary or receptionist at a place that involves a lot of business. If you're someone who wants to do music and arts, maybe go become like a music director or something like that, or find an internship. Basically, get into the field that you think you want to work in and see if you like it, because you may find out, oh wow, well I thought I like this aspect of it, but I don't like any of this aspect of it. This isn't for me. A lot of people are going to tell you do not take a time off in between, high school and college and stuff like that, because you're not going to be able to go back to school, which I do understand to some extent. But at the same time, if you're taking a huge loan, a huge investment on something like college, you cannot apply bankruptcy towards at all. You have to pay it back. That's a huge risk. So if you're not ready to go about doing that, you're not sure what you want to major in, that's a huge risk. So I would say figure out what your passion is, and then figure out, maybe take a year or two and start working at those jobs that you think you want to potentially major in, or take an internship. All right, next question. I currently have a job that I don't like. I want to follow my dreams, but there isn't a lot of money in what I want to do. Do you have any suggestions with that? This is the story with a lot of people. I mean, plain and simple, people, get jobs and they're like okay with, they make decent money, but they're not all thrilled about it. They work 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and Monday mornings suck for them because they don't want to go to their jobs, and they're basically just not very happy. They're bored at their desk job or whatever, and it's not very fulfilling. And people, get to a point where they're like, all right, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to do something that I love to do, But at times, people don't know where to start, or there may not be money in what they want to do. I'd say, but at the same time, people have expenses and stuff like that. People have kids or mortgages or lots of bills to pay, and they need that money, so they can't just quit their job and attempt something over here that makes nowhere close to the same amount of money or no money at all. And you can't do that. You have to be able to survive. What I would suggest is follow your passions or chase your dreams after hours. What I mean by that is go to the 9 to 5 job, the job that you hate, and make your money that you need to in order to survive and pay your bills. And then once you get off at 5 o'clock, follow that passion or dream. If you're it can be anything. If you want to blog, or start working after hours, at some other job, or something that that's separate between your 9 to 5 job that you can still make money at. Chase that passion or something like that until you can build that up into a point where, okay, I can actually make money at this now. Or you may not be able to make money at all, but you still love it. You have to it's important to do what you have to do in order to do what you want to do at life. You know, sometimes it's not easy, you know, going to that 9 to 5 job, but sometimes it's essential because you have to pay bills, you know. But once you get home, there's plenty of time throughout the night. You can do stuff that you love, or, you know, build that business that you want to build, you know, after hours. And a lot of people, you know, don't understand that. You don't have to necessarily quit, you know, at something in order before you start something else. You can do both at the same time and just manage your time well. So that's what I would suggest. If you have a job that you don't like and aren't thrilled about, it's important to get out of that job, because over time it's going to be toxic to your life in all aspects. So you need to be able to figure out, all right, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be? All right, this is what I want to do. Cool. I'm going to still work this job so I can keep a steady income, pay my bills. But after hours and on the weekends, I'm going to do this and build it, and, you know, do what I love so I can become happy and maybe make money towards it. And then after a few years, quit my 9 to 5 job that I hate and then start pursuing this passion full time and be able to, you know, successfully, you know, take care of myself. That's what I would do. All right, last question. This is my anonymous fun question for the day. I believe this question came from someone who goes to Washington and Jefferson and is possibly in a sorority. The question is, what do you look for in a girl? Obviously, this is completely out of my realm of questions that I usually do here. They're usually self-help questions for you guys, but I guess I'll take a stab at this. What do I look for in a girl? This is tough because I have high standards. I have really high standards. I'm a really picky guy. I've always been picky about, you know, what kind of girls I pursue. Obviously, looks are important. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, looks aren't important. Like, you know, what's on the inside is everything. No, looks are important, but they're definitely not everything. For me, what I look for in a girl after, you know, looks is personality. Are you hardworking? Are you passionate about something? Are you nice? Do you take time out for other people? You know, do you give back? You know, are you like level-headed? You know, and are you a problem solver? Just simple things that people take for granted that completely can destroy a relationship. You know, I think one of the most attractive things for me is a girl who is very caring. You know, someone who, you know, takes time for other people and is helpful. You know, and is not so conceited within themselves and just kind of like look out and see what they can do for other people in the world. For me, I love a girl who's passionate about what they do, who's, you know, hardworking and, you know, is on the run every day. Basically, someone who would mirror me. You know, they say opposites attract, but that's only true in certain, you know, aspects. For me, it's someone who's going to have similar traits to me that's going to attract me. Like, I'm hardworking, I'm a go-getter, I'm very passionate, you know, I'm very vision-oriented, you know, I'm time management, you know. I want someone who's be able to mirror those skills, you know. So there's a lot of things that go into what I like in a girl, but honestly, I think, you know, the personality is huge for me, you know. There's been plenty of girls who I've like, man, they're really attractive, they're really cute, but their personality sucks and it's completely game over. Like, I'm not going to give you the time of day at all. There's other girls who, you know, they look great, you know, and like, wow, you know, I'd really like to get to know them. And I get to know them and they're just perfect. You know, their personality is great. They're cheerful, they're nice, you know, they're not self-conceited. And that is the kicker for me, and that will seal the deal. And that's what I like. So that's an interesting question. So that will conclude this episode 5 of But First Coffee. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave comments at the bottom, hit like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm doing this every single week. I want to answer you guys' questions. DM me, comment, whatever it is. I want to help you guys. So please leave questions. I'll catch you guys in the next But First Coffee.